if you are a man over the age of 31, you should have at least $100,000 to your name. 100,000 that you can touch, 100,000 liquid. I'm not talking about equity, none of that garbage. I'm talking about 100,000 in liquid assets. I don't care what your background is. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your race is. I don't care if you had a mom or dad. Whatever the situation is, you have had the opportunity to touch at least 100K, starting with a minimal amount of money, right? And I'm specifically talking about, of course, the privileged countries. If you live in the West, you have touched, 10,000, 5,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. Just tax return, you're getting a couple $1,000s, right? But I'm going to extend this even to those who were unfortunately, not born in the most privileged countries, different places around the world, India, certain Arab countries, certainly, many countries in Africa. Even if you've had $100 to your name, which might be a lot of money in your country, you could even still be able to touch these amounts that I'm talking about. Now, it's been harder for you, okay? No doubt. So, maybe the number for you is 10,000. It's been much harder, right? But, and this goes for women as well. Most of my audience is men. I need more women. I want more women. Women put less hate out in the world, right? I get hate every day on my channel. And let me just bring that up. Why am I doing this? I don't have to do this. I learned a long time ago that access to information is everything. And access to information is segmented purposefully, right? In certain communities, especially, like black communities and poor Latina communities, poor white communities, these conversations are not happening, right? It's more about other stuff. In black communities, it's more about mess. Mess is promoted. That's on purpose. Who's dating who shot who responded to who with what stupid ass mixtape, who said what. Like, there's a reason why that stuff is promoted, because that's what they want you to focus on, right? When it comes to other, black areas, and you only know this stuff because, you move around, and I've been fortunate enough to do that. But, even, the time I've spent traveling in Africa, the media wants you guys to focus on your inadequacy. And they throw your inadequacy in your face all the time. And they make you feel like you can't accomplish anything because you're inadequate, okay? Well, it's who is in control of that media that's controlling these messages. I'm not going to get into that in this video. In fact, that's not even this type of channel. But you have to pay attention to who is providing the image of yourself, right? In poor white communities, they want you to focus on the big bad government. The government did this, the government did that. Oh, the big bad government, stand up against the government. When a lot of these times that the people that you're voting for are not for you. They are as against you as any person that you're told to hate, right? But it's propaganda. They make you feel a certain way towards a certain type of people. So we're all dealing with our own set of struggles and issues, community issues, things like that. Now, certainly there are people who are, propaganda is used against way more than others. right? Won't get into that. And certainly other people have had an opportunity that, others have not. But even regardless of that, regardless if your great great grandma was a slave, or whatever your situation was, even if you were incarcerated, it doesn't matter. You have had the opportunity to at least touch 100K, and I'm going to prove it to you. But the reason why I do this stuff, let me just talk to my haters real quick and everybody else. I do this out of love. I do this because this is what God asked me to do. It is a labor of love. I do not get paid from this. I don't get paid from YouTube. I've helped people become millionaires. I have not received a check from anybody. I do get hate from people, but I have not received a check from anybody. People that I've helped change their lives, are actually secretly saying stuff behind my back. They think I don't know. I have people out there that have ears everywhere. Everything they say, they tell me, right? And I don't respond. I haven't responded yet. But it's just interesting to me how people have come to me with literally nothing. I help them change their mentality. And they switch up on you. But that's not unique to me. That I'm not special. That's not unique to me, right? It's unique to people. People did that to Jesus. They did that to MLK. They did that to whoever. That's people. So, those individuals continued on with their mission, and that's what I'm going to do because I care about people as a whole, and it's this information that is leading to the disparities in income and things like that. That's all it is. It's not labor. It's not a college education. It's not any of that. It's just, honestly, people willing to share. The richest people in the world work the least amount. They try to tell you that it's the other way around. It's not. They don't work. What I've been able to achieve through the grace of God, I haven't lifted a finger in terms of I'm not chopping trees. I'm not mining. I don't have an axe in my hand. I'm not building. I'm not doing the most laborious things that are required. Don't get me wrong, right? I'm not a construction worker. I don't work on an offshore oil rig. I have literally been able to sit down at a computer, right? Make decisions and then benefit from that, right? I don't know if any of y'all got Amazon Prime. Check out this show called 007. I thought it was a movie. It's actually a series. It's really interesting. They put regular people through things that James Bond did in movies or something like that, but they get to win money. And one of the craziest scenes for me, and I'm still pissed off about it. There's different teams, kind of like the what they call that race, the hardest race in the world, something race, last race. I don't know. It's kind of like that kind of vibe, but it's less people. It's only 9 teams, and one of the teams is a husband and wife. And most of these people are British, so this is British-based TV. I think they were all British except one. I could be wrong. But it's a husband and wife, right? And the wife, she was wearing the Muslim scarf. And you know what I'm saying? So they're Muslims or what have you. And for $25,000, right? It started at $5,000. So I think it went from $5,000, maybe $10,000 was next. I'm not sure. So this was the second or third challenge they had. For $25,000, they had to climb on top of a crane and go out in the middle of this crane and unhitch this case, it's like a James Bond case, to go get the question to then answer the question. You don't get the money. You don't get the money for just completing the task. Like some people have had to like dive to like, real deep in the water and hold your breath and get like treasure hunts. You don't win anything like for that. You got to answer. You got to answer the question inside it. But anyway, for $25,000, the husband was afraid of heights. So he made his wife go up and get the case. So she's in her, I don't know what the is it hijab? I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't know what the proper term. Please correct me in the comments. She's in her headscarf, climbing this crane, terrified to go out and get the question. She had to go out in the edge of the crane and just get the case and then come back down. It's not like they let her back down with a harness. She had to climb back down as well. And shout out to her that she was willing to do that for her husband. I'm sure people in the comments or social media is probably going crazy. Dude, how could you make your wife do that? But he's legit terrified of heights. But long story short, that was for $25,000. Luckily, they answered the question right. That was for $25,000. Man, that's her. I'm not doing that. Dude, for $1 million, I'm not, what? Get on top, go up in a crane unassisted? Nah, bro. So what I'm saying is, I was at that moment, I was very thankful. Not that I wasn't before, but I was very thankful for what I've been through. And how God has allowed me. I've had a lot of challenges, don't get me wrong, but in terms of making money, it's been really easy for me to do this, right? Because I haven't had to climb no crane or dive to the bottom of the ocean or whatever. Y'all check that show out. It's a dope show. To me, they made the black people go through a lot more than other people just had a vacation. They had much easier to have, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But if you're over 31, male or female, you should be able to touch 100K. All right. So I picked a selection of things, and I'm gonna show you exactly what you could have done, and exactly what you should be doing now to achieve this. And it's the easiest thing in the world. It's the easiest thing in the world, and it's the hardest thing for people to do. Okay? And man, I hate trading view. I hate it. This is the first time I ever used it on a video. I hate it. They give you ads every 15 seconds. Okay, so anyway, let's start with Amazon, right? And you can start with whatever amount you think you would have had or whatever. We'll start with $1,000 just, for analysis. But of course you can, invest much more or whatever. Starting with $1,000, or if you're in a country that don't have a lot of money, right? You could have started with $100 or $10, whatever. Okay. This is Amazon. Okay. Back in June 97, Amazon, according to this, was 9 cents, 12 cents, 14 cents, 23 cents, 29 cents. Right? And now watch, this is so funny. Now watch this now. Going from 9 cents, 8 cents, 12 cents, and a couple years later is $5. The average person is thinking, oh yeah, what a great ride. This is over. It actually goes down after that. Okay? We're not going to get into technicals or anything like this. We're just getting into the timing. 1998, 99, 2000 goes up to $5. You could have made 40x, 50x, 20x, 10x, right? What happens? If you just keep holding, right? Again, $1,000 now from what? 9 cents, 10 cents, 20, 30. Let's go from $1 Let's go from $1, right? Your $1,000 here is now $20,000 in 2014. Right? Do I have the right stock here? Yeah. All right. Just wanted to make sure. It's 20,000 here. Oh man, I done turned $1,000 into 20,000. If you got in early enough, I mean, this is where if you got in at 20 cents, right? This is significantly more. Okay, 1,000 to 20,000, right? $1,000 to 20,000. If you put 1,000 at 20 cents, that's 200,000. Okay, what do? Oh man, I'm gonna cash out, give me a house, give me a this or whatever. Nobody would have faulted you. Nobody would have faulted you for that. But look what happens. Look what happens. Okay? So no matter where you got in, even if you got in here back when these folk thought it was over. Oh man, I done made 28. This is over. $5. You got in from $5. This is still significantly higher. What did you have to do? Nothing. Why did you get into this? Because you heard people started using Amazon. That's it. This is from 1998. Anywhere along here. Okay? Next. Yeah, I know I've talked about this a lot. So the same thing applies. You know what? Got to go back. Got to go back because I got to do this. If you were somebody looking to day trade or somebody that can't hold their water, right? You got in Amazon at 8 cents, 9 cents, 10, 11, 12 cents, and you held for a couple months, you got out at 20 cents. Or if you got in the very beginning, 1997, and you held for a year, right? You got out at 40 cents. You made money, but you didn't change anything about your life. Okay, you're gonna see how consistent that is. So, what did you have to do? Hold. What else did you have to do? Maybe pay attention to what's going on and just hold. Okay, next. No special skills required. I've talked about this a lot. Netflix. Look at this. Here we are, $1. Why would you get into Netflix? Because you heard people started using it. What was special about Netflix? Basically, people used to pay $70, $80 for a cable, and Netflix allowed you to watch, unlimited TV for like $10, $6 in the beginning, right? Then they went up. Of course, they went up some more because it's still cheaper than cable. That's all the analysis that you need. All right? So you could have got in here, $1.90, right? Here we are a year later, it's $5. It comes down. $3 here, right? Oh, you had to hold this one. Look at there. How many years it seemingly didn't go anywhere? 6 years, 7 years. And then all of a sudden, boom. Right? And you might be tempted here to get out. Oh, man. Man, I've been holding this up 10x. Right? I wouldn't have faulted you if you got out here. I would not have faulted you if you got in at the beginning. Right? You took your 1,000 and now it is what? 40,000 now. Okay? But what happened? Those that held, look at there. You see how insignificant this is now? It seemed like it was a big deal back then. This drop seemed like it was a big drop back then. Watch this. There was another drop. Look at this. Huge drop from $700 to $150. Huge drop. Look at where it is now, like nothing happened. Why? Because they delivered something nobody else was delivering. You can still watch TV for less, man. Y'all see what I'm talking about? You can still watch TV for less than cable. And they started making their own shows and stuff like that. Okay, this is from 2002. So whatever age you are, you can just apply this. 2002, right? You could have been born in 1984. 1984, you could have started investing in this in 2002 or any time after 2005, 2006, anywhere here. You could have even got in here at $40 and still made more than 10 times your money. Right? So, if you got in here, your $1,000 is still more than 10,000. Right? It's almost 20,000 from here. Still almost 20,000 here. Okay? Then you could have used that and went elsewhere. Right? Next. Same thing. Microsoft. Why would you get in Microsoft? Well, selfishly, like just thinking from my perspective, when the Xbox came out and they make the Xbox, and now they got Game Pass. You got to pay monthly for Game Pass. And everybody's using Game Pass. So of course, the stock is going to go up. Okay? Innovators. What happened? Look. They pretty much at an all-time high now. When was the right time to get out of Microsoft? Tell me. When? When are you taking profit on Microsoft? But yet, if you bought here and held it for a month or two, let's even go from here. If you held it from $23 in 2002, 2004 is $24. You like, this is dead. 2006 is still $26, $27. This is dead. Question is, what are they doing? If they're not innovating, then okay. Right? I bet you if I go back and really look at this, I could tie the success of this to, Game Pass or something like that, right? But they kept innovating. Now they're near their all-time highs. What did you have to do? Nothing. If you tried to make quick money with this, fast money, you'd made no money. You might have lost money. If you bought here and dumped there, guess what? You lost 50%. Every single one of these, you could have made a bunch of money, and every single one of these, you could have lost money. I'm going to show you that. Y'all probably don't know nothing about this stock right here. One of the greatest stocks of all time. It looks like a crypto. This is MasterCard. I haven't looked at it in years. I was surprised when I was, getting ready for this video. The last time I looked at MasterCard was about right here. And I knew then that, like it was a winner. But as you're going to see, it doesn't compare to what I'm doing. But the last time I looked at MasterCard was about 2017, 2018. And it has not stopped. Why does MasterCard go up? Because basically, MasterCard goes up the more people spend money on stuff. Okay? Every time you use your MasterCard, they get paid. The businesses have to pay Microsoft a percentage. It used to be 3%. I don't know where it is now. Right? And there's brokers in the middle of that, but it used to be 3%. It might be 2% or whatever. But the more people spend money, the more MasterCard gets paid. Well, here's the thing. Do businesses keep the price the same, or do they raise their prices? They raise their prices, right? Yes. So as they raise the prices, people have to spend more. Guess what? MasterCard gets paid. So basically, MasterCard is a measure of the inflation around the world. So if you want to know if inflation and spending habits are getting better or worse, just look at MasterCard stock. How's inflation doing right now? How's the cost of things doing right now? And if you don't believe me, watch this. Right? Look at pandemic. Look what happened. Boom, it went down. Why? Because spending went way down, just for a little bit. Then the government started to print money. All right, well, we got to turn this printing machine on. Look what happened. MasterCard went up. Okay? Could have got in any time here. But again, if you were focused on short term, right, even 1 year, right, July 2007, it was $15. Where we at? July 2008, it was $22. So you made a little bit of money, but you didn't do this. You didn't do nothing. You should have did nothing. You should have just sat back and chilled. You could have made a bunch of money. So where we at here? $4 to now, where we at? Was it 400? Yeah, $475. $4 to $475 in whatever time frame, right? 15, 16 years. Right? Which sounds like a lot, but if you're 18, if you're 19, if you're 20, you're 21, you're now 35 years old, you invested $1,000, now you have $100K. See how that works? Let's keep going. It's going to be the same message for all of these. Apple, look at this. 38 cents. Some of you guys were alive during this time. Some of you guys were of age, a lot of you. $1, right? I could have bought Apple stock. I remember looking at Apple stock when it was $1, right? And if I bought it, I don't remember if I did, honestly, 100%. If I bought it, I was day trading it. So I was trying to jump in and out. That's why I'm talking to you guys, right? I might come off harsh or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I'm just keeping it real. Right? I've done what you're trying to do. I've tried to do fast money. Because again, that's what was shown to me. That's what I thought it was about, fast money. And so I only learned these things by losing a ton of money. I've lost 6 figures learning. That's how I got my education. By day trading and losing. Day trade, that's what I'm counting. Day trading and losing. Day trading and losing. Day trading and losing. I turned a 2,000 into 18,000. 2,000 into 22,000. Lose it. Every single time. Right? And I knew about these companies. I was there. I had no excuse. All I had to do was buy and sit down. So what happened? Could have got Apple at $1. Apple has been the biggest money maker. Like, you're not going to really see what's going on with Apple. This is not really true what you're looking at, because I think $1,000 invested in Apple back here, for sure 10,000 is millions of dollars. 1,000 might be millions of dollars because they've had stock splits. Believe it or not, this video is not about stocks. You'll see that in a minute. But it's just about, what do all these have in common? Patience. Right? You could have literally just played video games for 20 years and you've been a millionaire. Right? And that's what I do a lot of now. That's why I'm so chill now. It's like, whatever. Bitcoin goes up and down. I lose money and make a lot of money every single day doing absolutely nothing. Every day I lose a bunch of money or make a bunch of money, but over time I make a bunch. And I'm playing video games the whole time, other than just other things I have to do. Spending time with my family and stuff like that. That's what I'm doing, man. Or sis, right? It's the easiest thing in the world, But it's the hardest thing in the world for people to do because people don't know how to be patient, right? So obviously this made the money. And I'm going to go through these here. Oh, why would you get into Apple? Well, you start learning that people keep liking this iPhone. They keep using this iPhone. See, back here, the iPhone didn't exist. Whenever the iPhone came out, I don't know when it was, right? Oh, people started using these iPhones. Okay, that opens up so many, areas. It's really easy to invest, right? You don't make people, make you feel like, oh, you got to know all this technical stuff. No, the simplest stuff is the easiest stuff to invest in, right? So you see people having iPhones and all that, and then, oh, are they still using iPhones? Yeah. Do they have other stuff? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to invest. Right? Millionaire maker right here. Tesla. This one is a little bit different for me. Again, I knew about Tesla. I was actually invested in Tesla back here. But again, I was day trading it. Yep. I was invested. Right? One time I held Tesla, this day trade option for like a month, and it didn't go anywhere, so I got out of it. Right? And then look what happened. Okay? And again, this has been split, so this could have made a bunch of money. Right? And why get into Tesla? This is different because Tesla was not making any money. Tesla didn't start making money until like a couple years ago, I think. I haven't really been looking at their balance sheet lately or whatever because I'm not in any of this stuff. I'm not in any stocks. I'm getting ready to show you why, right? But this was more like Tesla is like the meme coin of stocks. It's just people like it. That's it. People like it. They like it for whatever reason. The cars are trash. The cars are dangerous. I will tell Elon that to his face. The cars are actually trash. They kill people. They're dangerous. They are poorly made. But you can't fight the brand. You can't fight the brand. It took me a while actually it took me being in crypto to understand that. You don't fight the brand. People like the brand. Company is trash. CEO is trash. It made money. They just now starting to make money, I think, the last couple of years. And interestingly enough, once they actually start making money, look what happened to the stock. Oh, y'all making money now. Like a lot of times it's like that. When it's just hype and stuff, oh, it goes up. As soon as the hype turns real, it goes down. Now, maybe there's some other reasons going on. Maybe they're not selling cars. I don't know. But regardless, that's what I want you to pay attention. If people are paying attention to something and they hype about something, that might be a time to get in. Which leads me to, okay, why am I not involved in any of this stuff, even though it could have made a bunch of money, right? And it's real simple. Like I said, back here, I was day trading for years, day trading, right? And I did have some success, but mostly I was losing money. It wasn't until I got into options and then into Forex and stuff where I started to make some consistent money. But now what I do now is even better than that. And what do I do now? Nothing. Okay? But it was because what I was involved in, I was diligent about it. I just talked to my son about that this morning, being diligent about something, right? Whatever I do it to the fullest. So I was to day trade, I was waking up 6 a.m, right? Studying, then the market opened at 9:30. I'm trading. The market closes at 4. I might take a half-hour break, try to get some dinner, right? Maybe throw the football with my son. And the whole time I'm looking at my phone or whatever while I'm with my son. I'm not spending quality time with him or my daughter, right? And then the earnings start at 4:30. So I got to be ready for, the 4 or 5 companies that I'm looking for at that night for earnings. And then once earnings is over, then I prepare for the next morning. And so I get done about 9 p.m. Then I might spend a little bit of time with my wife, right? And then wake up again, start the process. And I did that for years. I probably did that for 5 or 6 years. The same routine. And, was not, making enough money to, provide for my family. And this whole time, all I had to do was nothing, right? But it was the worst thing in the world, and it was the greatest thing in the world. Because I was there, because I was involved, I learned about this right here. I learned about Bitcoin because I was involved in all this other stuff around this time, around the time of 2011, 2012, 2013. And so I was on a stock website when I heard about Bitcoin, right? And I first heard about Bitcoin at $130, right? And I didn't even click on it. It's just a blurb that came up. I'm like, huh? I was in Bitcoin before TradingView has a chart. Imagine that, right? And I'm like, I don't know, but I don't know what that is, Couple months later, another blurb about Bitcoin comes up and it's $300. And I'm like, man, I just saw this a couple months ago. It was $130. Now it went up 2x. I'm like, all right, okay, let me check it out. And I did the most basic research that you could possibly do because I didn't understand nothing about it, right? And then I watched a video. And it was these two guys talking, and they were on like some show, MSNBC or something like that. And the person interviewing them didn't know anything about Bitcoin. And it was like, okay, well, Bitcoin has been, breaking records, this and that. What is Bitcoin and all of this? And they said something, and I didn't know what the hell they was talking about. And so they just asked, okay, well, how high do you think Bitcoin can go? And they both looked at each other. And it was like, we think Bitcoin maybe could go to like maybe $4,000. And I bust out laughing. I'm like, man, come on, stop playing. And I laughed all the way to the computer and signed up for whatever I needed to sign up with, and I bought Bitcoin. And by the time that I could get it all together with the KYC and all of that stuff, Bitcoin was $300. By the time I was able to do the transfer from my bank, all that, Bitcoin was $1,000. And so I bought Bitcoin for one of the highest prices ever in 2013, $1,000. Only a few people paid a higher price than me. And then after that, Bitcoin proceeded to crash back down to 156, 7 months later. And here I am thinking maybe I made a mistake. But long story short, here we are. And yes, I still got that original Bitcoin and more. Because what did I do? Nothing. Where did I learn that from? From being in this stuff. I had learned by losing money, by being impatient. I had learned, hey, you know what? Maybe I should just be still. After 5, 6 years, I finally figured that out. You know what? I need to do nothing. And this is when I really started to make for real money by doing absolutely nothing. Right? So like I said, bought Bitcoin at $1,000. Rode the wave. When it dipped down, I bought more. Every dip, I bought more. When recently it went down to 3,800 around the pandemic time, I bought a lot more, and still holding on to that. And I live off of that right now. Pay my rent with that, tiny pieces of Bitcoin. All because why? I did nothing. What's the significance of Bitcoin? It's the only actual money, decentralized money that you own in the world. See, this stuff you don't own. What you mean, bitch? What are you talking about? I don't own this. Yes, I do. No, you don't. You don't own Apple shares. Your broker does. If something happens to your broker, you will be broker. That's why they call it broker, for real. You will be broker if something happens because you don't own those shares. Your broker does. You don't have them. You don't have them with you. You don't have the papers. Ain't no papers. You can't go to Cupertino, California and cash in your Apple stock if anything happens to your broker or the New York Stock Exchange or, whatever one that they're on. So you have multiple points of failure that you have absolutely no control over. See, Bitcoin taught me that. So Bitcoin and crypto in general, those are the only things that you own. What's special about Bitcoin? It can't be printed. It can't be fudged with. It cannot be hacked. The actual smart contract cannot be hacked. Somebody can take your Bitcoin. Keep that in mind. But the Bitcoin itself cannot be hacked where somebody can go behind closed doors, mine a bunch of Bitcoin, stuff like that. It's the most decentralized money in the world. You can go all around the world with it. You can get on a plane with billions of dollars of it and nobody knows what it is. And Bitcoin is really still just starting. So Bitcoin taught me that. So I knew from this stuff, I knew to look for innovators, right? So what I started doing, I brought that knowledge and I looked for innovators in crypto. And one of the first, the first innovator, let me go here, was BNB. What's special about BNB? BNB brought, like you see what we're looking at right here, these charts and stuff, it didn't exist before BNB. We had like nothing. It was, you didn't look at this kind of stuff. And in a way I kind of like that because I didn't care about charts and stuff. I care about, what they were doing. BNB brought professional level tools to crypto. And in my opinion, it was the first professional exchange. That's why every exchange that comes out now copies after them. It was the first professional exchange. It was what I was used to. That was one of the things that initially turned me off about crypto. All the sites look like crap. I'm like, man, I don't want this. Like, this is nasty. Right? I'm used to professional stuff coming from stocks. BNB brought that. So BNB launched their own coin. Didn't know anything about it. I saw it at 23 cents. I said, no, I ain't going to get in it yet. And then I got in at $1. And it quickly went up to $23 real quick. Right? Then it came back down. And it stayed at around $15, as you can see, for like 3 years. And I'm, again, because of my previous experience, I'm like, oh, I know what to do here. And then they started innovating more. And next thing you know, boom, it's $600. And all that BNB that I bought for $1 and $10 and $15, right? I've told this story before. I wanted to sell my house. Should have sold my house then. Even though I made more money on the house later, I could have sold my house for $80,000 and bought 80,000 BNB. Right? So do the 80,000 BNB times 600 right now. Do the numbers. I should have did it. I didn't, but, I still, made a considerable amount. Still holding lots of it. I've sold some now, but I'm holding lots of that. And look at the timeline. This is why I'm not fooling with stocks no more. This is from 2018 to 2024 that we went from $1 to 600. Right? This stuff, right? Because why? More people know about it, and because the valuations are higher, you do make money. But you don't make as much. Here we are, 2008, $6, $7. We go 6 years, it's $19, $20. Did you make money? Yes. Did you make 600x? No. So this is where I started figuring out, hey, there's more money to be made in crypto. My Lord. Do y'all see all these ads? Y'all thought I was joking. Goodness. If there's something better than TradingView, please let me know. right? But I applied that, hey, if I just do nothing with here's a new industry. People don't know anything about it. Who are the innovators, right? And I can make more money, and that's what happened. That led me to this. Now, this is funny because based on TradingView, this has lost money. But that ain't true. I got into this, obviously, before even TradingView knew about it. Now, think about that. I bought this at $1, and then it fell to 17 cents, and I bought a bunch more. Right? And so you see what happened after that. This is where I helped a few people become millionaires, because out of the hundreds of people that were following me, a few of them listened. Just a few. Should have made a bunch of millionaires here. Only a few. Right? And, the rest is history. Why did I get into this? Because Binance is what's called a centralized exchange. That is an exchange that's tied to your bank. It's easy to trade. You can connect your bank account. Millions of people use it, so on and so forth, right? But the problem with anything that's centralized is if, for whatever reason, a decision is made to shut down your account, like what happened to me in Coinbase, then you can no longer trade anymore. And that has happened to people, right? So PancakeSwap was the first decentralized exchange, meaning nobody could shut down your account for any reason. And as a black person, as a black man, I can't tell you how many times I was discriminated against with stocks. There have been times where I wanted to open professional trading, the applications that the pros use, and they would talk to me over the phone or whatever, and then once I send in my ID or whatever, they would stop talking to me. That's happened to me several times. I've had to go through other friends to use software. Like, think about that. I've had to talk to some white folk or, whatever, to get them to buy and not pay them or something like that. There's one time I met this guy who had some really nice software. He was Ukrainian, I think. He was Ukrainian. And so he didn't care nothing about the fact that I was black. He was like, here you go, bro. It's $100 a month. And I'm like, cool. He has some really, really nice software. That is a guy that would kill it in crypto. Really smart guy. I wonder what he's doing. But anyway, I got in here at 17. Initially $1, fell to 17 cents, and it went up to 40 something bucks, made a bunch of money, right? And then they started making decisions that didn't make sense or whatever, and that's why it's falling. And it went all the way back down to $1, but it's gone up since then. I don't recommend this right now. There's better opportunity. I'm not saying it's probably not going to go up a little bit, but I think there's better opportunities. But, again, you have these kind of opportunities in crypto, but they were the first decentralized exchange on Binance. Binance made their own blockchain. This was the first decentralized exchange on that. So I'm like, okay, this is a good play. Same thing. Look for innovators. Okay, this is Chainlink. I know a lot of these numbers sound similar, but for whatever reason they are. I bought this at 17 cents. Okay, I think I got into this before TradingView because you can't really see. There's an 18 right there. But if you look at the chart, this was 17 cents. This also went up to 40 something dollars. I got out at $19. So made, more than 100x. And I took that money and got into other stuff. And, looking at it long term, it's been the right decision because I've made several 100x's off of what I made off of it. See, that's the stuff that I can't teach you. that's just kind of the stuff that I know that, I'm just born with, and that's knowing exactly when to get out of stuff and when to get into other stuff. That's the stuff that really, makes you, a millionaire. Unless, again, you just, hold something that's legit. And that's what I'm showing you, that you don't have to do that. But I did time this. Initially, I thought I timed it wrong. But looking at it now, I timed it exactly right. But why did I get into this? Because I learned through crypto that crypto can't talk with the outside world. Blockchain can't talk outside of itself. So you needed a link from the blockchain to the real world. Why? If you ever wanted to, like, for example, have stocks on the blockchain, which you could honestly do now, you needed a link in order to provide that. And Chainlink was the first to do that. And we did at one time. We had Apple stock on the Binance blockchain. We had Tesla stock, I think. It was some other stuff because CZ was innovating. And SEC shut that down, obviously, because that would have allowed anybody from anywhere to invest in Apple. See, you can only invest in U.S. stocks if you're in the United States or somewhere that offers it. So that's why I said if you're African or whatever, it's more difficult because they won't even let you invest in stuff. So imagine, now blockchain technology allows you anybody to invest in this stuff from any country. It would be higher now, but people are so afraid because they worried about themselves and they money. They shut that down, and I know they sent the guy that created the link to jail. There was a dude that created something that made it easy to trade in between stocks and stuff like that. And yeah, man, they sent that dude to jail. Like, it's crazy, man. I don't know if he did some other stuff, but they sent him to jail. But that's why I invested in that, and I got into that pretty early, 17 cents. I've talked to some of the developers of Chainlink. They like, dude, you got in. They don't even believe me when I tell them. They was like, dude, you paid a price lower than what I got in. See, I know how to get in stuff, right? So, again, no matter what your situation is, no matter what you're starting with, right? If you knew how to connect these, if you didn't connect it, if you just held, if it's stocks, if it's crypto, whatever, you've had this opportunity. What is the common denominator between all of these? You had to hold them. And you had to hold them for years. Right? And you had to hold through any type of, hate that the company went through, because they all had, like I said, MasterCard here's a big dip. Right? Certainly Apple has had big dips. Right? This has all happened. You know what I mean? Here's a big one here. Right? And like I've mentioned before in previous videos, only millionaires do this. Only millionaires buy when everybody else is selling. Right? But you can only do that with things that are innovating. You do that with a Netflix. You do that with an Apple. You do that with, even if they come out with a bad product, they're still innovating. Right? So the question is now, what's next, okay? And so it's not even on TradingView. So again, just like I got into Bitcoin and other stuff before it was on TradingView, there's a couple of things in particular that are not on TradingView. One of them is in the middle of changing chains, and that's 100. Okay, I've done several videos on 100. Why do I keep doing videos on 100? Because I literally think it's the best opportunity in crypto right now, period. It's the best opportunity in crypto. Why? What's special about 100? Well, again, I mentioned Bitcoin, that the blockchain could not be hacked. But somebody can still take your Bitcoin out of your wallet if you do some stupid stuff. Now, I have to say that. If you don't click on nothing or do anything stupid, you fine. But these scammers are clever. You'll think you clicking on a legit thing. That's why you got to make sure you're looking at the legit websites, that it's not one letter off, one number off, because they scammers and they getting real slick, right? So a lot of people don't pay attention. If you don't pay attention, they can take your money. People that I have helped make hundreds of thousands of dollars have lost it in a single click by clicking on a scam link. Lost all of it, right? So what if there was a coin that somebody couldn't steal? Even for a time, even if it was just for a certain amount of time. Well, that's 100, right? If you buy 100 has a time lock for 100 hours. It's the first, you ever heard of a CD, certificate of deposit, where CD is like for a year or 2 years. 100, because it's crypto and because people crazy, they go crazy. It's only 100 hours. That's why they call it 100. It's 100 hours. Well, what does that do? When you buy it, right, or even after you buy it, if you buy a little bit more, it doesn't matter. It gets locked for 100 hours. So a scammer can try to do something, and they can take your Bitcoin, they can take your BNB, they can take your chain link, they could take any of this. They would not be able to take your 100 as long as you within that timeline. It's amazing. And you own custody of it. Again, there's staking contracts where you could take your crypto and you can stake it. But if something happens to that staking contract, right, it's a problem. This is the only thing where it stays in your wallet, so you have control of it. And nobody can take it. And so for me, and this is going to sound crazy, but, I think it's true. Bitcoin right now is the most decentralized store of value out there. 100 long term, like way, way long term, could be a better store of value than Bitcoin. Why? Because for what I just said, it can't be stolen within your 100-hour timeline. It literally cannot be taken. That's insane. And it's the first crypto to do that. So, if I was traveling, this is the future. If I'm traveling somewhere, right, in certain countries, they could take your crypto. In certain countries, you go through the airport and they scanning. If you got crypto, they'll take your stuff, right? It's crazy. If I didn't see videos of it, I wouldn't believe it. So, but if you put it, whatever you want to travel with, if you put it into 100, they can't take that. And then wherever when you get to wherever you're going, 100 hours later, or, you would do it ahead of time, you could take it out and, put it into Bitcoin or whatever, and then buy it. In order for that stuff to happen, 100 has to be on exchanges. 100 is not on, it's not even on an exchange. It's not even on TradingView. That's how early it is. Right? So I honestly think that it is the best opportunity in crypto. Okay? Another opportunity, again, I'm always connecting stuff. Because of 100, I learned about this crypto, Arweave. Okay? What is the reason why I learned about it is because 100 said that they're working with Arweave. And they did some NFTs and they used Arweave. And the NFTs is like they crazy. They make you money. Okay, I've talked about that before. You can look at that video. But they use Arweave to store it. The number one NFTs is the Bored Apes. Well, the Bored Apes are stored on an Amazon server. So if something was ever able to happen to that Amazon server, you would at least lose the look of your Bored Apes, meaning you just have a white nothing, a background. right? You wouldn't have the actual NFT. And NFT is supposed to be actual ownership. It's not. All the other NFTs out there, most of them, not all, they use Amazon or some other server. Where Arweave is permanent decentralized storage. Once you store it, it's there forever. And it cannot be taken down. So why I'm excited about this is literally you can build things on top of this. What am I talking about? You can build anything that requires storage of images or audio files or anything on top of Arweave. So what are we talking about? Websites. That's the biggest play for me. Websites. You can build a website on top of Arweave and you own it forever. No other fees, no management fee, no hosting fees, nothing. It's there forever. Now apply the same idea to SoundCloud, Netflix, hello? Driver's licenses, stats, NBA stats, anything that you need to keep a record of. And most of the time it's free. Like it's very low cost or free. They actually will let you do it for free. Now you have to have Arweave to do it, but they'll give you some free Arweave, like just, you know, because it don't cost nothing, just to load stuff on there. Now I'm sure that's gonna change. We want that to change because we want to make more money. But right now, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to do the valuation. Right now, this is at like a $2 billion valuation. Okay, just to go back to some of our other innovators, maybe it's good that we just now doing this. Let's look at what Netflix is worth. Okay, let's put this in here. I just found this. At least they got this. Okay, Netflix. What you want to look at is market cap. And right now, the market capitalization of Netflix is $263 billion. Okay? Let's look at the big dog. Microsoft, $3 trillion. Apple, almost $3 trillion. Nvidia, wow, Nvidia is on fire. $2 trillion. I told y'all that was going to go up. Google, $2 trillion. The market cap of Arweave is $2 billion. So Arweave could grow 10x. Let me just keep it concerned. 10x and still be at 20 billion. Okay, 100 that I spoke of, 100 current market cap before they went off of Binance Smart Chain, and we wait to see where they're gonna go next, is 10 million. 10 million. Okay, so you want to get into stuff early and then you want to be still. Right? This is at 2 billion. So Netflix is worth, what did I say, 263? 263 or something, right? Let me see. Yeah, 263 billion Netflix. What is the value? Like basically, you know what we should be looking at? Because people store stuff on Amazon, right? So Amazon, what's their valuation? Almost 2 trillion. You can see it right there. 2 trillion almost. Arweave, at least from a storage standpoint, has the potential to be Amazon. Imagine if people found out that you could build websites and store them for free forever. How much is that worth? It's not 2 billion. It's not 20 billion. So I find stuff, I find innovations, I get in early, right? And then I do nothing. Okay? So that is the and I'm not charging you no course for this. I showed you how I work. I'm giving you my mentality, all of that stuff. There's no need for you to come on my channel. People come on my channel. Okay, well, 100, can't buy 100 right now. What should I, get? You just wait. You wait on the innovators, right? I'm not like those other YouTube channels, guys, because I'm not doing stuff for clicks. I'm not trying to give y'all the top trending ones because I'm trying to, get more subscribers. I would like more subscribers, sure, but these other YouTubers literally, they just cover stuff. They're not even interested in the stuff. They just cover it because they know people want to hear about Shiba and whatever stupid stuff is out there. There's no opportunity in Shiba. Let me say that clearly. There is no opportunity at Shiba at the current market cap that is at, which is like 20 billion or something like. There's no opportunity there. Why would you buy a nothing thing that does nothing burger when here's something at 2, maybe it's 3 billion, I don't know, right? That literally could change the world. Right? And all the tokens are circulated. So it's not like Filecoin. Okay, so how you can tell, first of all, this is dirty because Filecoin used to have like representation of a max supply. Now they don't. So what that means is they can print and they will print an unlimited amount of tokens. Let me show you what happens when you print. Look at this. Oh, the Winklevoss twins was happy that day. Went up to almost 200 bucks. And you see now we're at 5. It shouldn't be this high. Right? One of the reasons why it's so low is because it's not like Bitcoin. It's not like 100. There's an unlimited amount of tokens. Solana is the same way, which is why I don't like them. So it's just inflation. So they will just print and print and print and print and print forever, and nobody's using this right now. Like, people are actually using Arweave. Okay, so I realize most people are not going to be able to research like me. This is why I share, but this is one of the things that I look at. Like 100 is already fully diluted. All the coins that are out are out. So Bitcoin is almost fully diluted. There's other stuff that I talk about that is the coins are actually decreasing. That's one of the things that keeps BNB up. BNB is deflationary. So there's every single day, there's less and less coins. So all the people that thought, oh, Binance going to go down because of the FUD, because of the SEC, you don't understand tokenomics. You don't understand it. They're burning coins. So you want increase pressure, increase, interest, demand, and decrease in the supply. That's only going to go up over time. That's only going to go in one direction. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I know that was a bit longer than normal, whatever, I decided to do that today. You know what I mean? But if you're over 31 years old, A, it's not hard. B, you have to get the right information. And so, hopefully I'm a source of information for you. But you should spend an hour a day if you're really serious, right? Spend some time, right? Learning this stuff, reading. So all you have to do is read. You can sit on the toilet and read. You can, be in a bed and read. You can be laying down and, read a little bit here and there. Start with 30 minutes. It's not hard, right? Get out the tabloids, get out of the mess, all that stuff, and do something that can actually help yourself, your family, your future family, all of that. And in my own little way, that's what I'm trying to do. It's your boy BSG. I'll holler at y'all in the next video.